Hi, I'm Kelsey, and a lot of other videos I see similar to this are about pregnancy, but that is not the case for me. This video also isn't about staying overnight in the hospital. I'm just disabled and suffer from chronic pain. This month I have my 14th and 15th procedure scheduled, and soon to be 16. But for some reason, if your life is kind of similar to mine, or you just have like a one-time procedure that's coming up and you want to know what it's like, then I hope you find this video helpful, or maybe you're just curious. Either way, let's get into it. First, I'm gonna start you off with the basics, being your ID and your insurance card. Without having both of these, your appointment is at risk for being canceled. I may or may not have had a close call one time, and you don't want to be me if I were in that scenario, so don't do that. And then, of course, have a credit card, debit card for your copay, which I also want to say, take that cash out of your wallet. And you're like, what the heck, like, why would I do that? Well, depending on what hospital I go to, I guess it's like typical like protocol for them to like give me a piece of paper, and then I write down all of my belongings, including how much cash I have inside my wallet. And when that happened to me, I genuinely had to estimate because I didn't even know. I was like, oh, 20 bucks, and then it turned out I had like $2. So just take the cash out. You don't need it. I've learned you pretty much want to bring just the bare minimum when it comes to this part. And now that you're all checked in, you're probably gonna have a long wait. That's just how it is when it comes to procedures. They vary a lot, and honestly, I never even get a call from a nurse telling me the time of my procedure until literally the day before. And then often the day of, it can change or fluctuate anyways. So bring something with you to pass the time, maybe a book, a journal, and a pen if you like to write, some AirPods. And if you have a 5-year-old phone like me that dies really fast, you're probably gonna want a phone charger. For my procedures, I often have sedation, meaning that I cannot eat anything the day of my procedure. One time I literally had one single bite of a graham cracker and they held me till 5 o'clock, and I was the last patient because they were so concerned. Apparently it's like a very high risk if you eat something and then go under anesthesia. So just rule that out, do not eat anything. But I'm saying this because I'm saying you should bring some snacks to eat after your procedure, because when you wake up, you're going to be starved. I think they've given me like graham crackers and some apple juice, and they don't hold me over until I get to the car, but you definitely want to bring some snacks either in your bag or keep it in the car for your ride home, and some water. I'm also kind of a germ freak, and I'm a little paranoid about all the stuff going on, so I'm always packing my own sanitizer. I know they have a ton in the hospital, I'll use that too, but especially when it comes to like eating, I love to put on my own sanitizer before I dive into the munchies. And then my hands also get really dry, so I like to bring some lotion with me as well. Next up, medication. Some doctors are really awesome and they will send you your prescription to your pharmacy earlier, so that way you can pick it up before your procedure or have someone else pick it up, which is really handy. And when that happens, I always pack my prescription in my bag and bring with me to the hospital because I know I'm gonna need that for pain. They'll give you stuff there too, of course, but I like to have that on hand, or at least in the car, as well as any other medication that I missed while I was in my procedure. As an example, they let you take a little sip of water with your morning medication before you have your procedure. That's like literally all you can do, is just like take literally like a sip of water. But if you're someone like me who has a pain prescription that I literally take 3 times a day, I typically miss like the afternoon lunch one, but I always pack that because I know I'll probably need to be taking that as soon as I can when I get out of my procedure, or at least back in the car. And speaking of pain, you're gonna want to bring anything that makes the car ride more comfortable. Now this, I don't really think this will fit in your bag, so this is just a little side note, but at least in the car, you're gonna want to bring a pillow, a blanket. If you're someone like me, you don't live right around the corner from the hospital. I actually have at least like up to like a 15-minute drive sometimes. So I like to be super, super comfy. This procedure that I have coming up is for my occipital neuralgia in my neck. So I thought it might be helpful to bring a neck pillow. And lastly, one more thing to add to your bag. I would say either a sleeping mask or at least sunglasses. Again, if you have a longer drive, or just in general, procedures are exhausting. You're gonna be super tired. I also suffer with photophobia, light sensitivity, so these items are really important for me to have. But regardless, I feel like when you wake up from a procedure and you're like half awake and then you get like wheeled outside, the light is just kind of jarring. So yeah, I would be packing those sunglasses. And now I have another tip, but this one is for outside your bag. I love bringing my wheelchair. I call it my wheelchair. It's actually a transport chair. The difference is really just the wheels, and I wound up going with this transport chair because right after my car crash, when I was struggling to walk, I also hurt my arm. So it's not like I could actually like wheel myself. So this was just a better option. I also still use it a lot now because I have something called functional neurological disorder. It's a movement disorder which interferes with my ability to walk. So I often bring this when I go out, and because the wheels are so much smaller, it makes it really easy to throw into my car, whereas like actual wheelchairs are very, very heavy. So this was a great fit for me. I love bringing my chair with me just because I don't always know when I'm gonna need it. From my F&D that I have, my symptoms love to flare up during procedures. I don't know why that is. I mean, I guess despite what operation you get, any operation, whether it's just like some needles in your back or something more invasive, it's still a lot of stress on your body. And I get a lot of symptoms with big stressors, physical, mental, and it just jumbles up my whole nervous system. So I like to bring my chair in case I have a non-epileptic seizure, or another very common thing for me is tremors in my legs, which means I will not be walking after my procedure. If you don't have a chair or you just don't want to bring yours, you can absolutely 100% request a chair. That's something that they always have available, a wheelchair, no matter what hospital I go to. And even if you don't know if you're gonna need it, it's always great just for peace of mind. So I really encourage you to ask if you need one. And here's the fit check. Wear something loose, easy to take on and off. I've had a lot of procedures on my lower half and upper half, and this is typically what I go with. And don't forget your slip-on Crocs. I hope you found this video helpful, or you gained some knowledge if you were just curious. I make a lot of videos about my chronic pain and disabilities on this channel, so be sure to subscribe. And I also make a lot of videos similar to this on my TikTok. So if you want to check that out, follow me, let's be pals. I also have my Instagram below, and I'll see you guys real soon with another video. If you have another procedure, I wish you the best of luck. You're going to do amazing. And you can always reach out to me, DM me on Instagram, or leave a comment below if there's anything else I could help you with. So yeah, I love you so much, and thank you for existing. Goodbye.